Today's a straightforward video on how to improve your credit score. Let's get right into it. All right. So what better way to know to improve your credit score than to know what factors lower your credit score? All right. So let's get into all the factors that lower your credit score, and then we'll know exactly what to do to improve our credit score by just simply not doing any of these things and working on these things specifically. Let's go. Number one, late or missed payments. This is one of the absolutely worst things. And for example, if you want to know about your credit score, you want to improve credit score, and you care about that, download Credit Karma. Download Credit Karma. There's so many different apps that are good. Credit Karma is one of the best apps. It tells you all the different factors, how much they affect the score, the different percentages, and everything. Late or missed payments is probably the number one strongest factor for affecting your credit score. It's at the absolute top with credit usage. So you never want to miss any payments. You never want any payments to be late. You want these payments to be automatically taken out of your bank account and automatically paid every single month. Or be very aware of what you're paying with your credit card and constantly pay it off before the month is even close to coming to an end. This is the number one thing you need for your credit score. Number one, do the math. Think about it. Have 99% on time payment history is just considered good, while 98 is considered fair. And anything between 0 to 97% needs work and is considered bad. Think about that. If you miss one payment out of thousands of payments that you have made in your lifetime, you already bumped the whole thing back from excellent just to good, or from good to fair if you get to the 98%. You need a perfect score for payment history to be considered good. This is the number one most important thing. Let's get right into the other things. Too much credit in use. This is the second highest factor of your credit score. You never want to use too much of your credit score. If you have $100 available, this is just an example, it's not going to be that low. If you have $100 available credit and you're using $90, you're using 90% of your available credit. And the creditors, the issuers, the loaners look at you like, yo, this guy is using almost all of the credit that he has. Like, this is not a trustworthy guy. They want you to use as little as possible or to constantly pay it off so it's shown that you're using as little as possible. The more you use, the more that affects it. Always try to keep it to zero. 0 to 5% of any card balance or of your overall balance is considered excellent. 0 is always better. It's a myth that you need money, you need payments on your cards to build history. If your cards are all at 0 every month, you're building it even quicker. All right, let's get into 3. A short credit history or none at all. This is not something that you can necessarily change. This is something that you just simply will change over time with you holding on to credit cards and not opening and closing them. Hold on to the cards that you have, keep them open, pay them off, don't get any derogatory marks on any of your cards, and just keep them open. Pay them off, keep them open. You don't want to cancel them and then your credit history goes down. They want to see that you have your cards for years and you have some type of responsibility and you know what you're doing. Let's go right to 4. Too many requests for new lines of credit. This is pretty self-explanatory. If they look and they see that you have 10 hard inquiries in just a few months, they're going to be like, yo, you are thirsty. Why are you trying to get all this credit? What are you doing? You don't want to have too many hard inquiries or too many requests constantly, because hard inquiries is when the issuer, the loaner, does a deep dive onto your credit thing to see if you are actually worthy of getting the card that you applied for them. And that takes away points. But it goes away within 2 years and it's not that many points. But if you're constantly doing it, then it's going to really affect you. And especially if you're doing it and you're not even getting lines, it's just affecting you for no reason because you're not even getting the credit that you want. Stop requesting lines. Do it once every while after you make sure that everything else is paid and everything else is good. That's very important too. And 5, too few types of credit cards. This isn't as important, but it does play a role. And this is probably more important if you're older. But at the younger ages, you can start in it too, just so you can be ahead of the curve. Different types of cards that you can have that offer different things, loans, rent. They all affect different things and they'll have more of an impact, more history for your credit worthiness overall. This is probably the least important out of these options here, but it's still important. But the most important, hands down, is number one, late or missed payments. And number two, too much credit use. Everything else you can have decently low or not paying that much attention to, and you have a good credit score. 1 and 2 are your key catalysts to a good credit score or to a lower credit score if you're not paying attention. Make sure all of your payments, every single one of them, are on time and fully paid off. If you can't fully pay off a card in a month, at least make sure that the minimum payment is made well before the mark, so it doesn't become close to being somewhat of a late payment. And too much credit use. Erase the credit cards. Put the credit cards away. Put them in a safe. Pay them off. Put them in a safe. Put them away. Use them for little purchases. Don't run up your credit cards. Don't go broke. These are some of the most important things, the factors that affect your credit score, and will be the difference between you having a great credit score and a low credit score. These are things that will help you for life. They're extremely important, and I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and good luck on your financial journey.